All right, once again, we are here with Vivek Khemka, and Vivek's been reading Satellite Guys overnight.
Always do.
He always does. He doesn't work. No, this guy's the hardest working guy in the business. But anyways, he's been reading and seeing your questions, and he's going to answer a bunch of your questions that he can remember in his head. So Vivek, take it away.
So I remembered a few. So let's start with the first one. I think the first question was, what's Super Joey pricing, and will it save me money over a 2-hopper setup? So we haven't announced pricing for Super Joey. Currently, a Joey is $7, a hopper is $12. So Super Joey will be in between those two numbers. But one thing is for sure, if you go to a Super Joey, it'll save you money over having a second hopper. The other question, I think, was how does a Super Joey connect back to the MOCA network into the hopper? So the Super Joey connects to the third LNB output. 2 goes to a solo node, 1 goes to the Super Joey, and there's a little splitter device that comes in the box of the Super Joey that'll split the MOCA network so you can connect it back to your hopper MOCA network. There were questions about multiple hoppers or multiple Super Joeys. You still, just because of MOCA bandwidth limitations, you can either have 2 hoppers or 1 hopper and a Super Joey in one whole home network. So you can't go to a setup that will have 2 Super Joeys and 1 hopper, which I think I saw in the blog, which is 7 tuners. That's not possible. The MOCA bandwidth just doesn't exist to do it. So what other questions were there?
I saw a question, and I don't know if you can talk about this or can't talk about this, but people want to know, this is going to be possible sometime, to set a timer on one hopper, and if that hopper's timers are full, it's got a conflict, set a timer on the other hopper.
Yeah, I think we'll be doing some software updates, hopefully Q1 of this year. Don't hold me to Q1, but I know we're working on it, where we'll do better timer management across 2 hoppers. So if one hopper is having a conflict and the other hopper timers are free, it'll push it over, and even maybe try to create a link back to that recording from the hopper it was created, so you don't have to find out where it went. But it'll never be the full Super Joey integration where you can grab tuners for live TV. Right. But we'll get better at than what we are today.
So to be on the safe side, we'll say that's probably coming in sometime in 2014. We don't want to hold your feet to the fire with the first quarter, because Satellite Guys are evil guys when you meet a deadline.
They are pretty brutal about the deadlines.
Now, while we're sitting here in front of a Super Joey, why don't you show us how it's different than a regular Joey? Show us like the 5-tuner setup.
So everything else is the same. You can see it's a little bigger. Because it does have 2 satellite tuners, and we had to put in a power supply that's so it doesn't have an external power supply like a Joey does. The power supply is internal, it's a little bigger. The software looks the same. You can see it's super fast because it's actually got the same class processor as the hopper with Sling or even the DirecTV Genie. Actually, the Genie uses that same processor, the 7346. You can see it's super fast. The one big difference is when you go to your red button, you see now there are 5 tuners, and it doesn't matter whether you're at a Super Joey, a regular Joey, or a hopper. If you've got the system, you'll see 5 tuners, and you can see 8 things happening at the same time.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty impressive. And again, primetime anytime's running there. That's correct. So you got the 4 things there, and then 8.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So we can be recording 8 shows at once right now.
Now, the other question I remembered that people asked. Will the hopper ever support Bluetooth keyboards? People like the social app, but they don't like typing on their keyboard.
I wouldn't say that's a high priority for us right now. I never say never, but it's definitely not a high priority for us right now. I think more of the social app has to do with consumption, not with input. And so the amount of I think from a priority list perspective, there are more important priority features that we're working on. So I would say the Bluetooth input's probably not on the list.
Oh, sorry guys. Yeah. Well, you asked it, I had to ask it, so I don't really know what more to ask about it. It's, one thing that worries me, Vivek, is the hopper, and now adding more tuners to the hopper with the Super Joey. How are you going to make it better for next year? The only thing I can think of, it may be the 4K. That's still probably a while away, but how can you make I don't think you can make it much better. No,
look, I think everything can be improved, and so 4K for us, I would say, is not the highest priority. We'll be 4K ready. We're not going to be driving 4K. Just like with 3D, we were 3D ready. We offered 3D titles, but we were not pushing 3D channels, and we were not doing a whole bunch of 3D. And I think our stance with 4K is going to be pretty similar. Also, there are no 4K chipsets that are going to be available until, call it end of this year for satellite set-top boxes. I would say we still have ways to go in improving the user interface. So our big focus is on redesigning parts of the user interface itself.
But as far as hardware goes, you can't make this. It's fast. It does everything.
Yeah, and I not a big fan of this.
Why not?
I think we can be a lot more simple.
It's better than the old trigger and mouse pad.
Oh yeah, no, don't even go there, Scott. Yeah, no, don't go there. No, but I think look, people now know how to use touch and know how to use swipe, and there's just way too many buttons on this, so it's a little overwhelming. So I would say looking at new remote controls is definitely a priority for me.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
And well, we thank you guys again for your hospitality. You guys have been great this year.
Great.
And thank you for everything you do for us at Satellite Guys.
And keep posting on the blogs. Even if I don't respond to them, I do read them. So
he's always there. He doesn't work. No, that's why they call him Mr. Wizard, because he does like 8 things at one time. All right, Vivek.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you very much.
All right.